So, I set myself an impossible goal, getting every single achievement for all of my games. Some I've already worked on a bit, but others are brand new adventures that I can wait to share with you guys. So let's see how things are going. Now, when I started working on this project, I only had 10 perfect games. I'm an idiot and forgot to get a recording on my page back then. It's my bad, but hey, can't go back in time, I guess. You'll eventually see the other 2 games in other videos. So I'm not doing too good still. I have an handful of games completed and my average completion is garbage. But for some reasons, this is the one thing that made me want to start this project. It'll be amazing to see it go up to like 40%, 50, 60, 90, up until 100% is done, or at least as close as possible. Because I haven't checked every single achievements, but I do own games that I'm sure it won't be possible to finish. Only time will tell, I'm sure. But anyway, I got a lot of work to do, so let's jump into this epic adventure that Larian Studio has created for us. And this is how the game starts, in a big foreshadowing cave. Now I know this is going to be a series about getting all of the achievements for this game. However, since this was my first playthrough, I decided to not actually look at the list of achievements, so I did set up my adventures without having an end goal, or knowing what path I'm gonna take for this playthrough. But eventually curiosity got the best of me, and it's gonna be very obvious at some point in the video when I actually started looking up the achievements. But one thing before we actually start this journey, is I just want to point out how wonderful the music is for this game. Honestly, I think every new track blew me away a little bit. Like I had to stop the game, like playing the game and just listen to it. It was that great. And now this is where my journey began. We are in a dark room. And a mind flayer is actually floating towards us. It picks up a tadpole from a pool and the tadpole makes its way through the eye of someone else in this room. It then looks towards me and does the same thing. Turns out that tadpole actually triggers a character creation, so this is great. Now I will spare the details. I end up playing as a wood elf monk, but monk is a class I haven't explored much when I was playing D&D with my friends back in the day, so I thought it would be a fun experience. But now that we're done, the mind flayer leaves us behind. It goes to a control room, and this is where we actually realize that we are inside an Etheloid. It is a vessel that blurs the lines between technology and organic matter. It's kind of creepy, not gonna lie, but cool looking. As it made its way towards a city, it became clear that this mind flayer was planning to attack this city. At first I thought that those villagers were getting Thanos snaps, but turns out it's really just a way for the mind flayer to capture more people. But suddenly, a group of Githyanki riding red dragons emerges from a portal. They start attacking the ship, forcing it to flee. But they follow. And they keep on attacking the ship. And amidst all the chaos, some of the pods that were restraining some of the captives opens. And now this is where we actually get to play the game. So this was my first time playing this type of game, so I had to get used to the controls a little bit at first. I wasn't sure how to move the camera, how to use the actions, or just moving around, so it was all a little bit awkward, but I managed. And so I set on exploring the ship rather quickly. I eventually come across a corpse with an exposed brain. The brain engaged in a conversation with me, but I'm a little bit uneasy. After some brief talking, I put it out of the skull. We talk some more and it wants to follow me. But I refuse. I tell it I'm actually gonna come back. Which I didn't, because honestly I was a little bit creeped out. Not too far where we left the brain, we actually meet up with the other captive that we saw at the beginning. Since she is also affected, we decide to team up so we can get out of this predicament together. I go through the combat tutorial and then make my way to the bridge. There's a fight right now happening on the bridge, and the mind player thinks he has control over us and actually orders us to flee. And so because I didn't know better or any other way out, I obliged. And this is how I got my first achievement, the first of many. And this is what marks the end of the tutorial area. Now on to the first act. And so right at the beginning of the act, we actually get ejected from the vessel, falling to our sudden death. Well, at least that's what I thought, but we do get saved by something. It's weird, but you know what? We don't really have the time or too much time to think about it. We actually have a tadpole situation to deal with. And as soon as I woke up, I started exploring the beach area that I landed on. I followed a trail of corpse and meet up with another woman. Her name is Shadowheart. She's very sweet, but mysterious. We decided to team up because she also is infected by the tadpole. And so we move on, and shortly after we actually meet up with another man. His name Asterion. He's very elusive and charming, and well, he has a way with words but tries to kill us. Just like Shadowheart, he is in the same predicament as us, so he decides to join up the team. And again, not too long after, we meet up with another guy named Miguel. He's a wizard. He's a little bit weird and mysterious too. I guess everyone's a little bit mysterious on this team. Anyway, point is, he is also infected, and therefore joins the forces of the, this group of, unlikely heroes. Yeah. I technically meet up with Lazel too. Technically also rescued her, but left her in the cage there for some reason. I don't know why, I just forgot about her. So I kept on looking around. And soon enough, I walk in a situation that reveals what the main plot will be for this first act. See, in this part of the world, there's a bunch of druids living in a grove, and they have tieflings refugees from somewhere, I don't know. But turns out that these refugees actually attracted the attention of a goblin camp nearby. And because the druids don't want to deal with the goblins, they are actually trying to kick out the refugees from the grove. But the refugees are scared because they're not very well equipped against the goblin army. And just like any D&D campaign, you can actually decide which side you're gonna be on. But because it just felt natural to help the refugees, this is what I end up doing. And so we explore the grove a little bit, and we hear words of a druid that might help us with a worm situation. But turns out she doesn't have a clue what she's doing, and actually just gives us poison so we can game over ourselves. But she does tell us that there might be another druid that could actually help us. But last who was seen was around the goblin camp. And so we are en route for the goblin camp. On our way, we actually meet up with a lovely owlbear that we slay for experience point. Exhausted after that fight though, decided to take a long rest. But in the middle of it, Asterion woke me up. Turns out he's a vampire. He's been feeding on animals apparently, but those have been scarce lately, even though I just killed two. Anyway, point is, he needs blood, and he was thinking about biting my neck, and after some consideration, I actually let him do it. And this is how I get the second achievement. And we kept on walking until we actually found the camp. Oh yeah, I almost forgot, he's important for the story, but we also met another friend along the way. His name is Scratch. He's a good boy. I'm only mentioning him because it's gonna be a little bit important later on. And so, right before entering the goblin camp, our group actually ended up having a vision, but it seems very painful. But a strange relic actually saves us, and turns out Shadowheart had that in her pocket the entire time. I don't know, this relic seems very important, but for now we have no clue what it's doing really, except protecting us. And so at the camp, the goblins are very friendly, though some are a little bit more... I don't know how to put it, it's weird. Anyway, we make our way in, and we actually meet up with the leader of the goblin. She is a drow, and turns out she's also infected by the tadpole. However, she claims to be serving an entity called the Absolute. But she has no idea what a druid could be. And so I started asking around about the whereabouts of the druids, and someone got my third achievement for reading someone's mind. In my search, however, I think I ended up in a room that I wasn't supposed to actually find this early. The room has a puzzle, but it's glitched. Well, I still managed to actually solve the puzzle with a lot of luck, but turns out some of the green circle here were supposed to be half full, half empty, something like that. And I was supposed to recreate the cycle of the moon with those, but hey, still figure it out. And so I kept on exploring this area that I wasn't sure that I was supposed to be in. And I went down to a whole other map. It is called the Underdark. We end up in an underground temple, and there's not much to it, but as we made our way a little bit further, a new character actually revealed itself. His name, Raphael. What he is, a freaking devil. He actually tells us that he might have a solution for our parasitic situation. But after some debating, I actually refused because the devil, as far as I'm aware, actually just wants my soul, and he ain't up to no good. Takes it well, I guess, I don't know. I don't think he actually enjoyed me refusing his proposal. But hey, he tells us that we're gonna meet again and just leaves us alone for the moment, so good, I guess. And so a little bit of exploring and actually dying to minotaurs, end up taking yet another long rest. But that one was my fourth one because I got the achievement for taking 4 long rests. Anyway, I don't stick around in the Underdark, it's very rough, everything seems overleveled compared to me, and so I go back to the surface. Still looking for this druid, maybe he's not at the camp. Last, he was seen around the camp, right? So I started looking around, started clearing more goblin, I opened doors I shouldn't have opened. But hey, that gave me my 5th achievement, so good, I guess, right? In my exploration, I ended up encountering a bunch of gnolls. I don't know if I should call it a pack or not, I'm not sure. But hey, and somehow I managed to get the gnoll leader to fight for me. And after killing its friends, I actually ended up killing the gnoll too. And when I looted the corpse, I saw that I can actually extract the tadpole. And so I do. In doing so, it opened a new menu. And if I decide to actually use the tadpole, I can actually expand my mind. Which is, by the way, the 6th achievement that I got. And so still no druids around, I kept on searching. I found a big mansion on fire, but because I'm not a firefighter, I ain't gonna help. Not too far from this place, however, there's a small building that caught my attention. And I went in. It was guarded, but hey, I was like, bro, I'm with you. So he let me in. And turns out that this is a hiding spot for thieves. A whole guild is there, actually. They're not too pleased to see me. And so we started a fight. You know, casual banter. In the middle of the fight, I ended up pushing someone off of a cliff and killing them in the process, which gave me yet another achievement. And so after clearing them, looting the place, I ended up getting another long rest. This time, however, I played fetch with Scratch. You know, the dog I mentioned. Just because. Well, turns out playing fetch with it actually gives us another achievement, and when I took my long rest, I took a long rest with only alcohol, so I got the bottoms up achievement. Alright, this is me post-editing because I realized that I tried to explain the entire situation on the Underdark and it was taking forever. So basically, there are shroom peoples, there are Dwegars, and they don't like each other. And the Dwegars are slave traders, so I decided to help the shroom people to get rid of the Dwegars, so I can actually gain access to another part of the map. Alright, that's it. Thank you. Enjoy the video. So we go back to the Dwegar camp and steal their ship. We get stopped on the way there, but we manage to convince them that we're not bad guys, we're simply there to report the death of one of their chiefs. And for some freaking reasons, they actually believe us. So I get escorted all the way there. And once we get there, boom, role player. I didn't know I was role playing this entire time. So we check out the places. There's a couple of things I'd like to explore, but at the same time, I'm only here for a job. The job is actually killing their leaders. The job is actually stuck behind a wall of pebbles or rocks. I don't know. A wall. Something fell in front of a door, okay? And this guy's blocked and he's gonna die from poison. I don't know why I just didn't leave him there, because I know it's a thing now. But I decided to blow up the freaking wall, then start talking to the guy. I don't reveal my intentions, but instead, because he's so mad, this guy actually wants to kill all of the Dwegars, because they're so incompetent that he almost died. And I saw an opportunity here. I can kill all the slave traders and then kill Nier. He's also infected by the tadpole. He also is under the absolute influence. Still don't know what that is. I convinced this guy that I'm gonna fight with him. I'm gonna kill all of the Dwegars with him. And yeah, that's what we do, man. We fight alongside each other. And then I betray the motherfucker. Again, job is done, and I'm not sure what else to do in the Underdark, because for some reason I didn't feel like exploring that much more. So I went back up to look out for my dread. After some more searching around the place, I really got bored, because dude is invincible. I don't know where he is. I can't find him. I'm pretty sure I looked everywhere. You know what? I'm gonna help the refugees. Screw that dread. I'm still at the beginning of the game. There has to be other opportunity anyway for me to actually, you know, fix myself. So I decided to go back to the goblin camp and slaughter them all. I land my first hit, and the game stops me. Well, actually, the goblin's like, hey, that's bad. Go to Orny jail. So I obliged. Hold on, that's a bear in jail. That's my fucking Alright, calm down. I've just been looking for this guy for like the past 2 days, but it's fine. So I'll break out of jail, getting yet another achievement. And as I was punching my way out, I got a second achievement in this room. And after I was done clearing the place, the bear goes back into his human form, and yes, turns out he is the dread that I have been looking for. Well, now this guy seeks revenge and also want to slaughter every goblin, so let's go. I cleared the entire camp. I didn't leave a single one behind. I haven't killed that droll either, by the way. I broke the bridge and poked her to death. That was great. And so we go back to the camp with the druid. Everyone's happy. Everyone wants to party. The tieflings are happy because we got rid of every goblin in the area. And so I'm on next long rest. It's a party. Everyone's drinking. Everyone's hot. Some are partying more than others. You know, lots of fun. Alright, and so the next morning, the druid actually tells us that he can't exactly help us. However, in the next area, in the second act of the game, we might actually find answers to our situation. But he warns us that the place is actually cursed. Before I actually decide to move on, I had 2 side quests I actually want to finish. I didn't mention them because they were not following the main story, and I generally just didn't spend that much time on those storylines. But the first one is in the swamp. It's a little bit down south. There's a hag there, like an old evil hag. And she has this young pregnant widow captured. And in exchange of the baby, she promised to actually bring back her lover. And because she loves him so much, well, yeah, she's gonna give her a baby. I had to help her. So I went to the hag's lair and prepared for a big fight, and... Alright, cool. My fight was bugged. Quick and easy. And the second side quest I want to finish was actually at the forge. Remember when I told you that there was a lot of places I could go and explore? Well, that's what I did. I actually started exploring, found some puzzles, moved some bridges around, and yo, hidden forge. So after a little bit of exploring of this part of the forge, I figured out how to actually make an item. And so when I tried, we went further down the lava pit. And when I pulled the other lever, well, I wasn't ready for that. A giant metal named Grym started attacking my party. That was the first fight I actually had to step out of the room and start thinking a little bit of what I should be doing to actually clear this fight. Took me a while, and when I did, my hard drive decided to start failing me. So I did not have the footage, I did not have the achievement pop up. However, that was the first time I was forging an item afterwards. So, with this footage, you have to believe me that I actually defeated Grym. Alright, but now with everything done, everything that I want to be done is done. It was time to move on for the second act. I decided to go to the Shadow Cursed Land by the Underdog. And in doing so, I got my final achievement for this act. And this is where I'm gonna end this first video. It is a lot longer than I was expecting, and I cut off so much content, so many little things I wanted to say, and then I was looking at how long the video would be, and I was like, you know what, I need to cut this, I need to cut that, and like, it's just crazy how much content there is. And this is only my first playthrough. I'm literally recording a second playthrough already, and I haven't even started editing the second part of this video. It's actually insane. It's crazy. Like, you guys should definitely play this game for yourself. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. I'm still figuring out how to do everything. I know editing is a little bit because I'm doing all of that by myself, and I'm not a master editor, okay? But I'm gonna learn. And the same thing with like voiceover. I'm gonna up the production quality eventually of these because I've been missing a lot with them OBS settings and whatnot, and also computer settings, so everything runs smoother. But yeah, if you enjoy, please give me a like. If you have something to say, leave in the comment. I take criticism pretty well, or at least I'd like to think so. But yeah, no, like and subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys for the next episodes of whatever I feel like working on next. So alright, love y'all, peace, have a good day.